Yep. Hello everyone, here we are again, ready for another exhibition. It's Saturday afternoon, it's the 28th of September, and we open at 6 o'clock, so I've got to get a wriggle on and just very quickly run through this exhibition. Hiren can't get here till later, and it won't allow me time to upload the video in time. So I'm just going to go around and give you a little bit of a rundown on the names of the pictures, maybe give you an idea of how small, how large they are, and give you an idea of what I want to point out in this particular picture, which is actually titled Tranquility Daintree. It's the rich texture and that visual allure of the natural environment. It really is beautiful. You've got to sort of get up nice and close to see the thick paint, but even standing from behind, you know, where I am back here now, it's really a beautiful painting. But let's move along. That one's 60 by 60, and quite a few of the paintings are 60 by 60 and smaller, and we've got a smattering of quite large paintings. So this one here, I don't really need to tell you where that is. It's iconic. It's a very nostalgic piece. It's called Glorious Afternoon, and it's really probably, I don't know, probably the Manly Ferry going into Circular Quay, I would say, because I've ridden on that ferry a number of times, well, most of my youth actually, backwards and forwards, and it's just glorious. So beautiful, beautiful name for the painting, Glorious Afternoon. Next to that one, we have some smaller paintings. So this size has been very, very interesting. I quite like it. It's the 30 by 45, so 30 wide, but it's got that lovely, lovely depth. The top one is, I think it's called From Barangaroo, and it's interesting because it's a view I haven't seen before, particularly with these rocks, which is really, really, I mean, it couldn't be anywhere else. As soon as you see those rocks there, you just think Barangaroo and Sydney and that harbour bridge in the background. There's only a couple of harbour bridge paintings, so we're actually starting with them. But I've mixed up this exhibition because I can, and as curator, I thought it would be nice rather than have all of the ferry paintings together and the various bush paintings together. I think it's lovely to see. I mean, this is Sydney. You could step out of Barangaroo and then onto a lovely bush walk, and that's really quite lovely. Although I think that one's Katoomba, Scenic Walkway Katoomba. So Hiren Patel is a very versatile painter. Now, I think I forgot to mention that the name of this exhibition is called Tides and Terrain, and it's a study of texture and place. And Hiren Patel is a Sydney artist who's actually won quite a few prizes and paints not as much as I think he should, but you know, we're all busy and he has a young family, but his work is always very well received, but he loves going out bush, and he has these little study books where he puts all his ideas, he writes into them, you know, they're like little transcripts of each day. He goes out looking for somewhere to paint and then paints a little study picture, and then we'll go home and paint the painting. This one, moving right along, is another one. There's lots of texture in this. It's titled Sydney Waking, and I remember when I first saw that painting, I thought it was sunset, because often when I'm in the city, I sort of walk along here and I'm looking over towards Sydney, and it looks like that it's sunset, but it's actually in the mornings as well. You've got that beautiful pink sky, which is indicative of spring. Actually, you see lots of lovely pink skies around the Sydney Harbour. Another one here, this is what I call, it's called Happy, and it's just one of the ferries bouncing along. I don't know the name of that particular ferry. I'm just going to walk behind you, George, so you can get in and have a look at it. But it just puts a smile on my face, that one. It's really a gorgeous painting. And then next to that, we've just got two little paintings. Now these are tiny, 30 by 30, really popular size. Lovely just to have if you want a lovely little signature Sydney painting. Here they are. One's called Kissing the Waves, and this one's called Queen's Cliff. Now here's one of the larger paintings in the exhibition. It's titled Forest Floor Katoomba. And you can see the sort of ruggedness of the mountain's terrain all around there, all this lovely leaf matter along the forest floor. That's something that Hiren is particularly interested in, and you'll see it in this next painting as well. I don't want to click on my lights here. This is probably my favourite painting in the exhibition. I just love the contrasts with these trees, you know, that really dark, nearly black inside the forested area, and of course all the lovely leaf matter at the front. This would make a beautiful painting, really anyway. It's called Ribbon Gums, and it really would fit anywhere in any style of house. It's really a lovely painting. Well, they're all lovely paintings, but that one, there's something about that one that I like anyway. Two more of the little 30 by 30s. This top one, it's been a very popular one. We've had quite a few people want to buy the same painting. It's really sweet. They're sort of going into Taronga Zoo, so on the north side of Sydney. And of course, this little one here is on its way to Collaroy. I'm not sure where it's going. It's Collaroy towards Manly. So I didn't know there were ferries at Collaroy. Oh, the fair. Ah, right, got it. Okay, there you go. It's the Collaroy ferry. Moving along to another one of the sounds of cicadas, another rather large painting. So you're looking at something around 1 metre by probably 80, something like that. Quite a big painting, as you can see. This one, Crimson, I think it's called Crimson Shadows, Grosse Valley. Now the Grosse Valley is very close, it's not far from here. And again, there's a lot of interest in this painting, and it sort of draws you in with the lovely tree fern in the background. Another sort of indicative of sort of Sydney bush, tree ferns mixed with lots of sort of different leaf matter and all sorts of things. It's really, really quite beautiful. And you can see how much Hiren loves being out in nature, as he calls it, you know, painting all these really vibrant bush settings and bush scenes. Just this one here, I sort of call this one, you know, the big ship on the high seas. Sort of reminds me of that. It's the Manly ferry. And it can be quite rough if you don't live in Sydney, you haven't been on these ferries. It can actually be a rough ride, and of course you can sort of tell from the waves that this was a windy day and it might have been a bit bouncy on board. Another one of these lovely tree fern paintings. This is quite large, this one. It'd be probably 90 by 90, I'm sure it's 90 by 90. All Hiren's paintings are framed, so you don't have to worry about getting it framed. They're all framed, and most of them are on board, although there are a few on canvas. Another two of these little baby 30 by 30s. It was wonderful sort of getting my hands onto these, because over the years we've had quite a few of Hiren's fairy paintings, and they just sort of leave here very quickly. So we've had people call in hoping to sort of snap up a fairy painting, and we don't have one. But today we've got lots of little ones too, and they're all they're very reasonably priced. Hiren's kept the prices down. These three, really they look lovely together. You could have, I'm just trying to think of what the names of them are. Seen Better Days, Glimpses of the Past, Rocks and Twigs, Katoomba, and they're three beautiful bushland studies, and I think they look lovely hanging together. Second last painting in the exhibition is called Lost and Found Treasure. I love the little gomy lily up in the background, and of course it just looks like lots of fallen logs, and I'm not sure whether they've been sawed or whether they've just, it doesn't actually say, it does look like they're sawed, George is saying they're sawed. Bit sad really, I'm not sure why. Maybe the tree fell down and they had to chop it all up. Doesn't say where it is, but I should think it'll be around that Katoomba area as well. And the last painting is Sydney, from Sirius Cove. And again, you've got those beautiful mauves in the sky and the blue water, and just those bright Sydney ferries. And I think it's lovely that he's been able to capture, I don't see many ferry paintings, and yet when there was talk of the ferries being, you know, going to their grave, there was really big angst over what, you know, the fact that these old ferries would be going. So anyway, the battle was won and the ferries are staying. I think they're still getting a few of these electric ones, not sure how they'll work. But anyway, we love the old ones, and there's plenty of them here. This exhibition runs through until the 14th of October. So there's plenty of time. It will all go online in about 1 hour, and we will have our opening drinks with Hiren